Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Woven Tales and, of course, to Going Medieval, where currently there aren't enough beds, and that is going to be one of the first things that we're actually working on in this episode. We've managed to finish off the tower base and much of the wall in the last episode. We even managed to taper off this wall as well, which I'm actually quite pleased with. Though we have still a few more things to add in here and there. Though that being said, as much as I am going to address the shortage on housing soon, perhaps, in fact, the first thing I'm going to do, I've changed my mind, is to address the shockingly low amount of trees here in the Oak Brethren Temple. Let's make sure that we've got a good amount of trees just spread out in here. I've made my peace with having silly little coloured squares at the bottom of all my tree farms. It's fine, I'll live with it. But we do definitely want continual tree growth in there. Additionally, I think one of the other things we're going to need is to fill this area out with clay, as we've done elsewhere. In fact, we're also going to mine that away and replace that with stone, and then we'll pop some wicker on top, as we've done in a couple of other locations. There we are. And that will lead over onto this side, and I think that's going to end up looking really, really, really pretty. Now, how is everyone doing here in Woven Tales so far? Well, right now, quite a lot of our pawns are getting work done. The big project was complete right towards the end of the last episode, so there's much less running outside right now, though I do have a lot of them chopping down the dead trees out here. There are an awful lot of trees that have reached the extent of their life cycle out here, so we're pruning the dead ones off and just using that to fill up our stores of wood and, if I'm honest, sticks in particular. We are shockingly low on sticks right now, and that's actually a bit of a problem because we use sticks for a number of very specific things. Autumn has arrived, though. That's good to see. Now, we've got a little bit more research that we can do. Let's have a look what we want to put our research into. We could go for preserving foods, and we could start making packaged meals. At that point, we could actually keep those wherever we really wanted to. We could go for alcohol. It's kind of tempting, I'm not going to lie. We could also start researching the various stronger weapons. I'm sure. Okay, well, we're going to start working backwards. I don't really think we need to worry all that much about all of the food processing for now. Right, there we go. We have finished the bottom floor of the tower now completely. Now, just to let you know how I intend to build this up, is I have spaced it out exactly so that we can have a spiral staircase going all the way up, with room at the corners for a single floor that leads to the next spiral staircase, and so on and so forth, all the way up. But as however tall we want to make it, basically. And that's going to be something that we'll be working on in this episode, no doubt. But the prime focus is going to be these bedrooms. Now, as I mentioned in the last one, I'm thinking of maybe keeping one or two of these. Either that or doing away with it entirely and just filling this area in with clay and just building it back a little bit. Now, that would shed us maybe two, possibly three, probably two. Yeah, let's just say that we would lose 2 bedrooms over there, but we're going to gain a lot more than 2 bedrooms in the very, very near future. To that end, we need some brick. Over here, let's go with something along the lines of... I want a doorway in here, probably about there, if I'm perfectly honest. So let's do something along these lines, something like that. I think that'll look quite nice. We'll have just a regular door leading in. There we go. And we're going to want to grab some walkways just to fill this little area out. You know what? We're going to fill that off. This is quite a tight little corner back here. Now, you might be wondering why I've made this little alcove. Honestly, it's purely for the aesthetics of this area. We're going to have some torches there and there. I want this place to be quite well lit because it's going to be an important location for our military. Furthermore, let's pop down a little bit of decoration over here, perhaps. Yeah, sure, let's go with a little standing flag, perhaps. Let's have something, we could have something right there, I suppose. Either that, or we could have a little flag just on the side, or perhaps, yeah, sure, let's have this one. On this wall, it achieves the same effect in that it's more prominent walking in this direction, which is ultimately what I think we're going to need. Further to that, we're going to want to start building this little area out, and as soon as that's been dug away, we'll place down a brick wall there as well. Now, there are a couple other changes we're going to need to do, and this may seem a little bit crazy, but we are actually going to replace each one of these walls with a brick wall. I am not sold on the idea of getting rid of all of our dry stone wall here, but we are going to need supports. Even if I don't get rid of all of them, we're going to need these to be brick supports for what I have in mind. Let's make sure we've got the right thing. There we are. Let's get all of these placed down. There we go. Now, this side, we might keep it. We might lose it. We'll see. We'll see. Now, by and large, we shouldn't have too much more work for our peeps, though we have got a lot of mining to do down here. I don't think we're going to be taking this any lower. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's have a look on the outside. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there is one last layer that we could go down, but I'm not really seeing much down there worth going to. It might be interesting to see what lies at the bottom there. Are we going to dig too deep and too greedily? Always. But is there going to be anything there that we need to worry about? Well, that's the question, really. I suspect not, but we can live in hope, I suppose. Right. Furthermore, well, we're going to want this staircase to be brought forward a little bit. And to go along with that, I'm actually going to build out the pathway around here. And I'm thinking we're probably going to want to take it up there as well. Right now, we're running the entire colony off just these farms, which is quite impressive, but I really would like to move that outside. We could probably achieve that with a little doorway over here, actually, and as long as we built up walls that were sufficiently capable of deterring assault, they wouldn't need to be tall walls at all, actually. We could have just basic walls just with some merlons, or not. Just going around here just to isolate this little farming area, but I don't think that's going to be something we're going to get to. I think we're going to happily let these sit as just isolated little farms within the larger keep area. How's the mining going down here? Not too bad. Culinary skill is level 28 for Magres Polar Bear. Well done, you. In fact, what is our food situation like? Let's have a quick look. Okay, we've got 37 lavish meals, 3 stews, 251 smoked meat that's apparently not good to eat. I can't believe that smoked meat is considered not a finished good. Like, if you eat it, oh, I ate raw food. Maybe I'm just not familiar enough with smoked meat, but any of the smoked meats I've had in the past, while yes, you can use them to cook other meals, they are absolutely acceptable in my mind as the finished product, and you can just go and nom on them. But perhaps the people of Woven Tales have more refined tastes than I do. How are we doing for the crossbows right now? We've got 5 heavy crossbows available, 5 regular crossbows. That is actually pretty amazing. Let's have a look. Is anyone equipped with basic crossbows that could be a little bit better? I believe the heavy crossbows is fine. Superior heavy crossbow. That requires 15 marksman skill. So anyone that has 15 marksman can upgrade. Oh, that's heavy there. How about you? 7. You? 12. We've got a couple that are nearing the required levels. You can absolutely upgrade to a heavy crossbow. Let's get that done. There we are. Pepster. So close, Pepster. So close. Same with Manu, actually. But little by little, we're getting there. Soon, all of our archers will be sporting the latest and greatest technology, and that's going to be absolutely awesome. Let's just make sure that wherever that crossbow was, we pick it up, since that can go into the list of items. Now, what I could do, given that we have upgraded to crossbows completely, let's dismantle all bows. Right, let's pause this there for a second. I want anything, and let's not have any of the melee weapons. I mean, I could pop that in here, really, if I absolutely wanted to, but what I would like to do, don't break down anything in here that isn't a bow or a light crossbow. Break all of those down. That's the only reason that this particular job exists, and do it forever. And we're going to slide that one all the way up. We know that we never want to have those items again. There we are. You can crack on with that, mate. Crack on with that. We can probably do the same for basic wooden shields in here, by the same token, actually. Basic wooden shields of any variety should be broken down. But we'll wait until we've actually got a surplus of regular shields for that one, though. I think that would probably be the better option. But that said, we do now have fine steel great helms, and we are starting to accrue them. I think it may be time for us to start breaking down regular, certainly leather helms. Absolutely leather helms. Can we do that? Yeah, we should be able to. Let's go ahead and pop this down at the bottom. Pause it so that I can edit it. And we'll slide that all the way up. And we're going to do basically the exact same thing we just did. Let's make sure that's right at the top. Edit this one. Clothing fabric. We're not going to take out the mail. Well, actually, we've got iron mail, so yes, we are. We're not going to get rid of these, though. Winter clothes, that's not what we're here to do, but I do want you to break down helmets, leather armor, and gambeson. Crack on with that. Likewise, we could add in this down here and edit this one up. Let's make sure we don't want to break down... Oh, a hopeful helpmate. Amiska approaches with her hand held out and a warm, open smile. Amiska was keen to learn about woven tales and only too willing to lend a hand. All she asked for was a safe place to call home. Well, of course you may join us. Okay, well, that's kind of stopped me in the middle of what I was doing, but give me just a second to finish that up, because I don't want to leave a smelting order just sat here. Oh, that's another thing I needed to do. I did forget to set that one up for forever. There we are. But I want to make sure that this one is properly set up. We're not going to break down any metal weapons. That is not what we build here, so I don't want to do that. We do have the general all-purpose if it's below a certain quality or below a certain... if it's below a certain level of durability, sure, break that down. However, don't worry about it otherwise. Oh, okay, so we can't... Apparently, we've got these items down there, but we don't make them ourselves. That's a pretty interesting one. I would rather you don't break down mail helmets or great helms, or plate mail for obvious reason, or mail armor. But all of the rest of this, the metal buckler and the metal shield, I mean, I would assume that they are different things. Just straight up melt those down. If they're here, get rid of them. Don't want to keep them, by all means. And we'll slide that one straight on up. We will eventually update that one to also smelt down mail, simply because we don't care to have mail, just regular mail armor available to us. But let's go and find out about our latest colonist. Where are you? There we are. Okay. Well, first and foremost, we need a name. Please, everyone, welcome Aavak to Woven Tales, and thank you ever so much for your patron support, mate. A wanderer from Barcelona, Aavak had the gift of healing animals, and occasionally humans at a pinch. She was learned, understanding the Moorish faith and the teachings of Galen and Aristotle. Aavak had an excellent sense of humour, After the apocalypse, Ugrak had felt more at home in the quiet of the clay pits and lime kilns than in the towns. There were traces of humanity, but not the stench or the despair. Ugrak carved a secret labyrinth into the rock, invoking memories of Reims Cathedral. I'm never certain how to pronounce that name, sadly. Pseudonym, the Bastard of Traharis. Really? An apologist for the philosophers of the natural order, Ugrak harboured a nagging fear of what her errant father was. He might be a follower of Gregorius, or even a cannibal. Ugrak's friends called her bastard, and made it worse. Okay. You're a swigger. You're also outgoing. You're a great sport, always setting up bouts, games, and sing-alongs. She is a jolly soul. Oh, lovely. You're also a sunseeker. And you're infirm. Well, I mean, you can't win everything, I suppose, but welcome. Join in with all of the work that we've got to do. Right, okay, well, as usual, you're not actually a bad person for tending, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you a 4 for that. You're actually allowed to do it. Hunting, I mean, you got relative skills of 9. That's not so bad. In terms of construction, I don't think we're going to need you to help out with that. I'm going to give you a 2. Well, no, actually, let's have a look. You are definitely more of a miner than anything else. So I'm going to give you that as your priority job. I think that'll be fine. And likewise, growing and harvesting, you're not great at it, so let's not worry about that one for now. Same with cooking. Smithing, you're definitely not a smith. However, you're a passable carpenter. You can have that one on a 4. You do have a passion for tailoring. I'll allow you to have it at a 3. Research, you can have it at a 4. Pretty much everyone in Woven Tales can research. You don't need to do hauling. Well, actually, you probably should. You've not got that many things to do there. Furthermore, you might notice that we've got a little bit of a change to the setup over here. I've abandoned giving them specific times to work. I just let them get the jobs done that they want to do, and also to satisfy their desires as they have them. So hopefully that is keeping everyone in Woven Tales relatively happy there. Right, can you pop on some seasonal attire? There we go. Seasonal hat. Also heavy armor, because everyone should have some armor of some sort. In terms of, actually you're more of a melee person than not. Interesting. At this point, I'm thinking that we could possibly have 2 peeps. Belial, yeah, we're going to be going with spear with you, mate. There you go. We'll drop the shield. No shield for you. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to have 4 spear users and 2 sword and boards. The sword and boards will be the backup, but with 4 spear users, even if we can't have all 4 of them attacking, for example, if they can only attack straight on and not diagonally, well, we've got backup. If someone comes along and they too have a spear and can stab through, well, if someone gets hurt, I can back them up, replace them with someone else, and keep the damage up until eventually perhaps the door breaks and then sword and board step forward and they take the brunt of the attacks. I think that's going to be the best way to set that one up, I think. All right, let's make sure that everyone has collected everything. I really do wish there was a way of saying specifically, don't abandon an item when you drop it. I understand why they do it, because it prevents certain problems from occurring in the AI set to pick things up. But still, it's a little bit frustrating, I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie. Now, we do have long swords. I think that short swords should stop being made as a direct consequence of that. And long swords should be made instead. And we should do until we have, let's say, 5 of them. There we are. And these should only be made of steel. Only the finest steel longswords, please. And indeed, thank you. There we are. And shimmy that all up. There we go. Perfect. With that, I think we might even want to go into manage. And although we've only got 2 sword and boards, let's create a new item for longswords. Add new. Longswords. There we go. And we specifically want melee, turn off short sword, and have, where is longsword? Oh, is a lot. Longsword's 2-handed melee. Oh, that's a little bit frustrating, I'm going to be honest. I would have said that a longsword was more a hand and a half sword if it was going to be anything. Certainly not just a two-hander. But okay, well we'll keep the short swords then, I suppose. Let's go back to one-hand sword and just leave that as is. Then in that case, that's a little bit of a shame. All right. Well, we'll be rid of you. That is definitely a shame. I would have really liked that if we could have controlled that a little bit more finely and had a bit of an upgrade to the basic short sword. But I suppose as things go, it's not a terrible position to be in. We'll just keep making those as we were before, and I'll just slide them down because they're a little bit less important now than our other tools. Right, okay, so we've got a lot of work done over here, which I'm very glad to see. Let's pop that in. This will, of course, be a wall, as you can probably already guess. Now, what are we going to be doing in here? Well, I've got a plan for that, actually. A plan that we will be getting to very soon. But first, I must remove the wall of wood back here. Actually, let's grab all of the wooden wall all the way back to there. We're going to replace all of that with proper stone walls. Now, I'm not sold on just going to brick yet. But I feel that the brick makes more sense with what we're going to be building on top here. And so I want this level to have brick, at the very least. What we do down here, I think we can still have the dry stone cottage effect there. I think that'll be quite nice. Now, the other thing that we're going to want is some supports all the way along. Look, it's a very, very hodgepodge way of making an arch, but we all know how much I adore arches. I have to have them, so yeah. This is just the only way that I can make it happen. Okay, let me have this. All right, let's pop down a regular stone brick wall there. And I suppose for the sake of keeping the continuity of the rooms inside, we will have regular limestone walls all the way along. And that should actually look quite nice. It won't have a significant impact on what we're going to do. However, I am going to be replacing the flooring up here. And indeed, these stairs need to be gone as well. But I'm going to wait for them to finish this little job first. We've got quite a lot of work to get done there. Let's drag that out. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, with that, I think it's time to answer the question, the obvious elephant in the room of what am I going to be building in here? Well, first and foremost, I am going to have to pop down a couple more supports. We'll go ahead and we'll pop the supports all the way along, actually, at each steady interval. It'll make it look a little bit better. But we are going to move over the warfare stockpile. Now, I'm going to do that now, which does incur the potential for us to lose out on some items. But this is going to be the garrison's stockpile for all of... Oh, actually, there is a different stockpile for that. Let's delete that, because I've never actually used it. But this is going to be the garrison's area for arms and armor, especially now that we're starting to very specifically restrict what we're putting in here. I only want the items that I care to use, so let's clear all for now. I want the heavy crossbow. That is fine for ranged. And as for melee, I want the, let's find you, Bardiche, and short sword. There we go. And then in shield, we're going to want the tower shield. And as for armor, we only want the great helms. And finally, for body armor, we only want plate armor. There we go. I'm not going to allow damaged armors in here. We'll get rid of them. At 51% they can go, and we only want good to flawless quality. That should make a big difference there for us. That should make a huge difference. But we've still got quite a lot of work to do over here. So I'm going to lay down a cut here. And we're going to be replacing some of this floor and also building up the next stage. This is where we're going to have a couple of extra bedrooms. So I shall see you in a couple of moments. They wanted slaves. They demanded blood. Indiscriminate raiders intent on pillage and plunder charge into your village. Did they bring trebuchets? They did not. They have already lost. We are currently undergoing a massive redesign of the bedrooms. As you can probably already tell, though, we're not going to simply be adding 6 new rooms up here. No, these are going to be swanky rooms. These will be for our most esteemed knights and noble people. Basically double bedrooms, a little bit bigger than the quarters for our scholars. And also, you might notice I'm popping down a couple of braziers, but unfortunately, this has resulted in a lot of people's bedrooms not actually being bedrooms for now, but should be set in the near future. Right, let's have a quick look. What kind of weapons have you got? You don't even have any ranged weapons. You're all going to die. Horrible, horrible deaths. There is no hope for you. No chance to survive. You needn't even bother making your time. Frankly, it won't make a difference. However, I probably don't really want you going outside right now, but they are going to attack, aren't they? And you are going to be stuck outside, aren't you? Dander, let's get you inside then, mate. Come on. Let's get you back. Where are you off to? No. You're also going to stand still for now. Come on back inside, Dander. I don't want anyone outside when the fighting starts. Oh, there we go. Fighting has started. Right, well, let's just get you guys inside. There we go. Right, I want these doors locked. Not all doors, just these ones. Locked and indeed locked. Right, Dander, as one of the ranged attackers, you need to be up top there, mate. Right, let's let everyone else get to position. We're just going to grab all of our ranged fighters and just position them straight away. So everyone who has got a crossbow, because we no longer use bows. No. We're far, far too advanced now. Let's get all of you up top here. Go. As in right now. That is perfect. Thank you. Dander, let's get you in position. No, there are way too many people coming up here right now. Okay, well, that's fine. Thank you very much for one door being locked. Could you possibly lock the other one as well? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Piccolo, you can stand still behind. There we are. We do need Malachi down here as well. Let's get you in position. Closer to the wake. Let's get you in position. River Knight, you can stand off to the side. And finally, where are you, Bilal? Bilal can be in position just behind 2 rows of spearmen. That's going to be grand. Right, my wife's biggest fan. Mascarina already a good place. Dander, let's move you up. Russell, let's move you across. Dr. Lady Tara, you do not get involved in this until later. Let's move you back. You're already ridiculously good at what you do. You don't need to be any more ridiculously good. Let's get everyone else in position. There we go. Fui, you can be over there. Magres Polar Bear right here. Melody Rose, let's get you down on this side. Okay, let's spread you guys out a little bit. There we go. That should be fine. I very much doubt that many of you are even going to make it to the gates, frankly. Since we are not actually taking Dr. Lady Tara out of the running. Actually, let's position all of you up top here. There we are. You'll be able to do ridiculous work. Although you did actually manage to trip the trap. Well played. I'm actually a little bit impressed with you. You managed to get that close at the very least. There we go. See if anyone else manages to get there. Bad Boy Rune. Marksmanship level 13. What we're looking for is anyone who hits 15. If someone hits 15, then they need to be earmarked for getting an upgrade to their bow. And my wife's biggest fan is now 8. 18 sworn enemy died. Dre, wow, okay. Was the bravest of the settlers, dealing the most blows. Well done indeed. But that is pretty much it for them. I'm going to allow you to get the last shot if you can. Can you? No? Not going for it? Dr. Lady Tara it is, though. Oh, you poor fools. Poor sorry fools. You really did stand no chance. Let's undraft everyone. Make sure there's no one hidden back there. Nope, no one's hidden back there. Okay, there we go. Everything done. Default. Realistically, if they don't bring trebuchets, then the fight's already over. And if they don't bring any ranged, we're not even going to take any damage. That's the way. That's the sad reality of it as it is. We're just too damned good at what we do. We don't even let any survivors get away to tell the story of Woven Tales. This is another point in favor of having a massive funeral pyre pyramid that can be seen from afar, because this one could easily be blocked by a mountain and some trees. No. We need something so vast. It's no longer a signal pyre. It's more of a warning, really, than anything else. It is a declaration of intent. Any raiders, this is where you're going to end up. If you're coming to Woven Tales with ill intent, then you're actually coming here to commit suicide on our funeral pyre. That is the reality. You need to make your peace with it. I mean, I'm not going to stop you. Frankly, I appreciate the regular injection of resources, but I mean, it's not exactly the smartest move. I'm going to be honest with you. But nevertheless, we've got an awful lot of work still to do over here. And some other things besides as well. I am intent on adding a little bit more to the outside. I think we're going to have some extra little walls over here. I might actually take this one away. Yeah, let's take that one away. We're going to have these come up and we're going to pop in some little... wrong thing. We're going to have some little roofs just dotted along here. I think that'll make the outside here look really nice. Really nice. Okay. Well, we've got a lot of work to do. And, well, we've got a reasonable amount of materials, but there's probably going to be still some gathering of materials going on. That being said, actually, we've probably got enough materials there to mostly finish the job. You'll notice inside here that I do have some decorations going up. There's shields set to be built on all of the walls. Well, all the walls on this side, anyway. I think we do have them on that side as well, yeah. I just figured that for the armory, it makes sense, in my opinion. It makes sense for the armory to have arms decorating the walls rather than flags or stag heads, etc., etc. But I shall bring you back when we are a little bit further along with the construction of our new ultra swanky bedrooms. Though this isn't really going to help us with the amount of sleeping space we've got, but honestly, the hot swapping is going to be fine. And realistically, whilst these are made thematically for the nobility, the lords and ladies, the knights, everyone's going to use them. It's literally the closest to it. It's going to just hop in the bed. So, you know, I don't feel too bad about this one. We don't actually segregate our people by class. We just make it look like we do from the outside so that some of the other fanatics in the land will just leave us alone. They won't think that we're turning the world on its head. The workers are allowed to sleep in the besilked bedrooms. No. And with that, Belial has finished the last of the 3 bedrooms. We still have a little bit of work to do on the support walls outside, but the bedrooms themselves are complete. Each one has some decorations, though this one hasn't yet finished its hunting decoration. We've got a shield in there, we've got some books over here, because I feel that we are lacking on items to really set bedrooms apart. I did put a stool next to each bed because we don't have a bedside like stand, not even necessarily a table, just even something next to the bed you can put things on. So I figured that the stool would work in a pinch. We've got some lovely decorations outside on the supporting walls, and all that it remains now is for us to place down the roof. Now for this one, as much as I like the clay and stone roofs, I think we're just going to go all in on a limestone roof for this one. Something like that all the way across. Now it should line up, yes, perfectly. Lines up perfectly on this tile. I specifically measured these out so that we would have exactly the same length either side, with this being the central tile for that roof to go down on. And I am really happy with the way that is going to come together. I imagine that this will keep us okay for... Well, okay, people are starving right now. It's fine, we've got loads of food. They're pretending. But this will keep us for, I think, like maybe 1 or 2 more bedrooms before we're back to not enough beds. But again, that really doesn't seem to affect anything overall. We have a couple of items that we can go and look into now. I guess we could look into unlocking the... winter is here. Unlocking the preserved food too. Sure, let's go and have a look at what that would entail, shall we? For this, I'm going to need to drop the roofs again and have a look down here. What do we need to do for this? Requires 12 cooking material. Okay, so that's fair. 1 fuel and 1 clothing fabric. Well. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, well, rather than that then, we'll keep the meals there. But once we've got 50 lavish meals and 20 regular meals, everything else should just be put into this. Pretty much do that forever. Once you've completed all the rest, if we've got food available, make it into imperishable goods. That would be fantastic. I like the fact that you have to use clothing fabric for that. That's actually pretty cool. This way, our cooks will always have some work to be doing there. Now, that has actually taken us a long while to do. We're on the first day of winter now, and I think it's time for us to start considering expanding out our tower over here. Though this isn't really the focus of this particular episode, it is ultimately what we're going to be getting down to. Now, well... if we do this, each layer will have to have its own floor, and I'm actually okay with that. We could support the entire floor with just 1 support beam going down the middle, and then on the next floor, because the next stairs will be going, if we imagine this is north and this is south, it'll be going north-south. So we can have the support beam going north-south, so it doesn't cross the stairs on the level that the stairs is going up. Now, on the next level, I'm thinking we'll have some windows, because we'll be able to put windows on each side if we want to, and the stairs are intentionally away from the walls this time, so that I can do that without worry. We can always have a brazier at each level, right in the middle, and I think that would look lovely. But despite the fact that we're not going to need it, I would actually like to have torches on the walls as well. So let's pop those down there and there. As this is, again, a strictly military tower, we'll go ahead, pop in some shields as decorations on the walls, at least on the sides with the beams. We don't have enough decorations to really make each room look unique, which is a shame, because that's definitely something I would like to be able to do. But with the game's continued development, I'm hoping that that is going to be something that we're going to be able to expand on going forward for a long ways, actually. Now, are we done cleaning up after the last raid? No, not even slightly are we done clearing up after the last raid, which is a little bit of a potch, but oh well. What I would like to start doing now, though, since we have the opportunity, let's actually mine out the salt over here. I think it is time for us to get salt into people's diets. Now, this will eventually turn into an area where we would have the large pyramid, and I've got some plans on that, though people have made a point of warning me that if we do build this, enemies will absolutely go for the pyres. They are considered a town object. Now, the thing is, and I don't mean to doubt you, but that's exactly what people said about the clay braziers. That's exactly what everyone said about the braziers, that they would be destroyed. They have not been. That doesn't mean they won't be. It just means that so far we've given them something more important to focus on other than just breaking the braziers. Perhaps if you completely bunker down and you're not even on the wall shooting them, then they'll just go around and start destroying buildings where they can. But we've never really done that. We've never properly hidden inside and just hoped that the bad people would go away. We've been there dealing with them actively, so they've had something to focus their attentions on. But I do have some ideas on how we would be able to protect any kind of pyramid, even still. Largely, we would use some doors over here. The entrance to it would be somewhere here, somewhere where easily all of our crossbow people would be able to absolutely massacre anyone going for those doors. We wouldn't use the bar doors. We would use the reinforced doors, so they'd have even more hit points to be able to weather the attack while we just pick them off one at a time. And I think that would probably be the best way of starting that project. We've still got a bit more to go over here, but I am really, really happy with this area. And I would love to know what you think about it. It's going to look amazing with the icicles as well. That's actually something that I hadn't considered. That's actually going to be fantastic. You know what, though? You know what we could do? And I think this will be kind of lovely, is we're going to have some games just out there. So people can just sit there and look out and marvel at Woven Tales. We've done so much. I really do feel that perhaps this, maybe popping these in would be a little bit awkward. I'd love a bench. Something I could just have there looking out. But we do need some further decorations for this area. And maybe a couple of chairs here and there wouldn't be amiss. Something like that, maybe. We can pop in some more flags. I know I use flags everywhere. I am so limited, though, in what I can actually put on the walls that there's not much of an option for me, really. Let's instead, though, go with something like this. We'll have a standing flag just to try and mark a bit of a difference there. Something like that. Maybe even a brazier out here. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to contribute to anyone's warmth out here, but it would still be nice, I'm sure. Let's pop that one there and have another one there. There we go. That'll keep the inside here nice and well lit and hopefully quite warm for peeps. Now, this is something I haven't actually drawn too much attention to. I believe I've mentioned it once or twice, but when someone tries to re-equip, they'll sometimes get stuck, and it only ever seems to happen near beds. So keep an eye out for that. If they're just kind of hunched over, half the time that I get a warning that someone is exhausted or starving, it's because they're stuck over a bed just trying to re-equip or unequip something. And I'm not sure why it gets stuck. But if you just select them and then draft them and then undraft them immediately, it fixes itself. So it's a very easily dealt with problem, but that has caused me some issues in the past. But we've got a fair old bit of work yet to do. What are we really waiting on? We're waiting on just regular limestone, I believe. So that is something that we're going to need to gather from down here. Now that is actually a bit of a problem because we've more or less exhausted the quarry. All right, well, we need to find somewhere along here. I had a temporary mine. I think it was over here, perhaps. There we go. Yeah, here we are. We've been doing a little bit of mining out here every now and then just to take the pressure off the quarry, especially as the quarry's been starting to run low on material. So we'll set up a little bit of mining over there so that we can bring in some more limestone because we need that to finish off the roof over here. I will bring you back when that's done and we're ready to wrap things up, though. I am really, really happy with what we've gotten done, but I am not going to wrap up the episode until our bedrooms are actual bedrooms. And there we go. You can't exactly get the best look at the finished article because of all of the snow, but I think this is perfect. We have finished off the roof, and honestly, I don't think there's anything more that we need to do here. Just to show you, all of these are considered proper rooms there, which is fantastic. We've got everyone in a bedroom. People are a little bit cold because it's currently a cold snap. It's minus 35, 37 outdoors, which is not exactly everyone's favourite time, but they're doing the best they can with what they've got. Now, we have got a couple of projects left to finish. This is not going to be the final episode, but I've got a funny feeling that the next one probably will be. We have the tower over here to finish off, and honestly, I'm probably going to take this one up at least another 2, possibly 3 levels tall. So that's going to be a whole episode worth of work by itself. But at the same time, I'm going to try to finish off the little tower defensive structure that we're going to have right on the edge of Woven Tales over there. And at that point, I feel that we'll more or less be where we need to be for Woven Tales to be considered the finished article, the complete settlement of Woven Tales. Obviously, there are a couple of side projects that I would like to do. The secret archive underneath our library, and obviously, as mentioned earlier, the Pyre Pyramid somewhere over here. I think those would be wonderful optional side quests if you like, if there is enough interest to see 1 or 2 extra episodes to get those done. But I am really happy with the addition of these bedrooms. I know it doesn't actually increase the living space in Woven Tales that much, but I feel that it really does bring all of these buildings into... Well, it makes it look more of a part of the grand structure of Woven Tales rather than just something stuck on the side as an afterthought. And I have grown to really like the mixture of brick and kind of a dry stone walling there. I love the little odds and sods, little places for people to sit and play games out here in the braziers as well. I'm really happy with the overall design, and actually the whole stool as a bedside table, I think that actually works really well, surprisingly. But that is going to be it from me and from Woven Tales for today's episode. As ever, if you've enjoyed what you saw and you want to see more, then do let me know down in the comments below or with a like on the video. But as I mentioned, we're probably going to see at least one more episode. But beyond that, it really will come down to whether people are interested in seeing us finish off the kind of optional objectives that we've come up with over time. It'll all be down to whether there's enough interest there or not. But that is going to be it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time. But until then, and as always, from myself and everyone in Woven Tales, do take care, everyone.